Please be seated. The court is now in session, and again, we'd like to hand the floor to the International Co-Prosecutor to put further questions to this witness. Do you have the floor, the Co-Prosecutor?
Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon, Mr. Witness. Sir, this morning you told us that there were no pagodas operating in Tram Kak during the DK period. Was there a pagoda in Lay Bo? And what was that being used for when you lived in Lay Bo?
No.
Well, let me see if I can refresh your recollection. A witness testified, a civil party spoke before this court on the 27th of January, and the ERN for this is, the transcript is E1/253.1. In English, it's 010-609-69. In Khmer, it is 010-629-999. And at 9:44 in the morning, Ms. Chu Komang said that in the DK period, the pagoda in Lay Bo was turned into a place for keeping children. The prisoners were also kept in that pagoda, in Lay Bo Pagoda. She said, so the pagoda became the prison. Sir, you told us that there were no pagodas operating in Lay Bo, in Tram Kak district. Why was that? Why was it that during the DK period there were no pagodas in operation?
I didn't see pagoda used as a prison or as a dining hall.
Sir, my question is, thank you for that. My question is why pagodas weren't being used as places of Buddhist worship. Why weren't monks at the pagodas and ceremonies performed there? What was the policy that made it so that there were no pagodas?
I did not know about that. However, when I arrived in Lay Bo, there were no monks and the pagoda was not used as a place for Buddhist worship at all. But it did not turn into a prison or anything like that.
Sir, you're a highly educated man. You told us you were given assignments of responsibility, meeting foreign guests, leading work projects, leading workers to work projects. What was the Khmer Rouge policy towards the Buddhist religion? What did you hear and observe?
I did not know anything about that.
Well, sir, you attended meetings of district committees in Ko Andai and in Tram Kak in sectors 108 and 105. Is that correct?
I attended the meetings in my capacity as an assistant.
Did you ever hear Khmer Rouge cadres speaking about their policy towards religion?
No, I did not hear anything about it from 1975 to 1978.
Now, sir, by the way, are you a practicing Buddhist?
Yes, I am a Buddhist.
Did you practice your religion during the decay period?
During the decay period, there was no place of worship. However, at my house, I actually pray. I paid my respects to Buddha statue.
So you were allowed to keep a Buddha statue in your house. Is that right?
President, Mr. Witness, please wait until the microphone is operational. Witness. There was no Buddha statue. I just prayed.
Your prayers must have been answered because you survived. So let me move on to a different subject. Sir, you said that you led workers during the decay period in various work projects. Those people that were doing the actual labor, were they there voluntarily?
As for male and female youth at the work sites of digging canal or building dams, they worked at their own will. They were not forced to do so.
So it's your testimony that they could decline a work assignment with no consequences. Is that correct?
There was no male or female youth who refused to work. However, there were cases where they fell ill, that is, they had fever, and then they could rest without having to work. And sometimes they were sent to hospital for treatment.
By the way, did your wife have a position at the hospital?
No, she did not.
During the decay period, your wife, Tamok's younger sister, what assignments did she have?
She did not have any position. She stayed at home, at her own home, to take care of her mother, and that was at Takeo province. And only occasionally I went to visit her mother, that is my mother-in-law.
Was she a member of the Communist Party of Kampuchea, your wife, Tamok's sister?
I did not know, but it seems that she was not a member.
In District 105, Tram Kak, when you lived at Lê Bo, you attended monthly meetings of the district committee where members of the communes, heads of the communes, reported. Is that correct?
in the meetings held at the district, commune chiefs had to report to the district committee.
Sir, in Lay Bo, I want to read something to you again from the same book I read this morning, E3, 1593, Kiernan, the English ERN 00678587, in Khmer 00637634, and I do not have the French. It stated, that the author wrote, in 1977, new cadres took over Lay Bo and called separate meetings for each category. They instructed the deportees to temper themselves. Then they formed the three categories into separate cooperatives. The full rights people stayed in Lay Bo and were called Kong Number 1. And I'm skipping a bit. Deportees and candidates were assigned to different cooperatives called Kong Number 6, 7, and 8. They were moved to another area within Lay Bo sub-district. Is that correct, Mr. Witness, that people were put into different cooperatives and lived in different areas in Lay Bo according to categories?
Although I lived in Lay Bo, I did not know the details about the various work groups of people. As I stated, I mainly worked in the rice fields or at the work sites or building dams or digging canals.
Well, sir, were you assigned to one of these units, these Kongs, or were you at too high a position to be assigned to such a unit?
I did not have any position to supervise any unit, and I did not have any position that was senior than what I stated. And I already informed you that Mok had me transferred to Tramkot district to be an assistant to the district committee in dealing with the rice fields and with building dams and digging canals. That is, in short, to assist them in the work at the work sites.
Excuse me, I thought you were assigned to Tramkot to meet foreign guests, and that the assistant to the district committee was your assignment at Ko Ande. Are you confused about that? Or did I get it wrong?
No, I'm not confused. The work dealing with the foreign guests happened only occasionally.
You said you met two delegations that you recall, a Swedish delegation and a Chinese delegation. Were those the only delegations you met?
Yes, they were the only two delegations that I made.
Were you present for the visit of American journalists to Lay Bo, including a woman, in December 1978?
No, I did not meet them.
Were you in Lay Bo throughout December 1978, or were you somewhere else?
I was in Lay Bo until December 1978.
approximately when did you leave? Let me withdraw that. Let me ask the question again. Is it correct you stayed up until the time that the Vietnamese invaded?
I stayed there until the Vietnamese entered the territory of Cambodia.
Now, sir, why was it that the Khmer Rouge took these important foreign delegations to Les Baux?
I did not know.
What exactly were your instructions about what to show or tell them?
The sector gave me instruction to show them the cooperative, the dining hall in particular of Les Baux cooperative, and about the school for the children to the south. And as for the Chinese delegation, I had to show the rice fields to the east of the cooperative.
In your statement, this would be the first statement you gave, the first day, E319.1.15. In answer 53, you're talking about the foreign guests. You said cars from Phnom Penh brought the foreign guests to my place, and I went to meet them. Then I took them to show them model homes and model rice fields that were built for single families. Sir, who lived in these model homes for single families?
I cannot recall it. However, the houses were distributed to the peasants living in Les Baux village. And in fact, that village was called Phnom Roleng village.
Sir, the house that you lived in, how did you get that house? Was that assigned to you?
Yes, it was given to me.
By who?
The houses were built by the commune, and then they were assigned to people, and I was one of the people who was assigned a house. It was to the north of the cooperative and also to the north of National Road number 5.
So you were living in one of the houses built during the DK period, correct? Do I understand you correctly?
My house was not a model house because the model house were taller and they were built on poles.
Okay, now please answer my question. Was your house built during the DK period?
The house was built when I was transferred to Liebo, and it was around probably October 1977.
Who was assigned to build your house? Do you know?
I already responded to your question. The houses were built by the commune, but I could not tell you which person builds the house.
Okay, let me move on. Sir, there's documents on our case file about Liebo being a model cooperative or model village, including the July 1977 issue of Revolutionary Flag. That's E3 135. First of all, sir, have you heard of this, the Revolutionary Flag publication? Have you seen those?
Yes, I used to see them. That is the Revolutionary Flag magazines.
Where would you see them, sir?
I saw them at the cooperative as they were distributed by the commune.
What kinds of people were given or given access to the Revolutionary Flag? Can you tell us? Was it only the very highest, or was it distributed to all the cadre and all of those working in the commune?
There were not many copies of the magazines. They were distributed only to certain people, that is, to those people who live under the commune, and they were not distributed to workers or peasants.
Would the persons in authority, the commune chiefs, the commune committees, the village committees, have access, be given access to Revolutionary Flag?
Yes, they did.
And what about the security personnel? Did they have access to Revolutionary Flag?
I did not know.
Well, sir, in this July 1977 issue, if the English ERN is 00406850, in Khmer 00062-794 in the following two pages, and in French 00487711 in the following three pages. There's a description of an award being given to Liebo, to Tram Kak as a model district. And it says in the third paragraph on the next page of the ERN, it should be in English 00446851. I'm skipping ahead to shorten things a bit. But in that third paragraph, it says, "Comrades, you are models in terms of the stance of socialist revolution, doing the work of socialist revolution well, waging class struggle mightily and profoundly, especially inside the party, in all of your districts." Do you believe that's an accurate description of Tram Kak district, the time you lived there, that it was a model in terms of the socialist revolution and in waging class struggle mightily and profoundly?
on this matter, I did not know. However, that assessment was not at the time that I went to live in 1977. I believe that assessment was made by the government of the decade in 1975 or 1976. And that assessment was probably focused on the agricultural product, because the land in that district was rich for agricultural production, and that is my personal understanding, although I could not speak for the opinion of the government at the time.
Just since you mentioned agriculture, did Tram Kak district, when you were there and working on, you said among other things, I believe you said it was rice growing, did Tram Kak district send rice to the center, to Phnom Penh?
I cannot recall that.
Sir, what I just read you, there's a phrase I'd like your help with understanding. It talks about, in that paragraph I just read you, waging class struggle mightily and profoundly, especially inside the party. And this is, to answer your question about the timing of this again is from July 1977, a month after you moved to Tram Kak, that this magazine was published. Can you help us? What does it mean that in Tram Kak, class struggle was waged mightily inside the party?
I came to Tram Kak district in June 1977. However, upon my arrival, I was injured on my left knee, so I had to be hospitalized for 3 months. And on the issue of waging a class struggle, I could not make such a comment on this issue because that assessment was made by the upper echelon.
You were in hospital for 3 months with a knee injury?
President, please wait, Mr. Witness, until the microphone is operational. Witness. Yes. I had a wound on my left knee and not on my ribs.
From playing football, correct?
No, in fact, it was a volleyball. And when I fell down, then I had an injury on my knee.
Thank you. When you met this Chinese delegation, you said Rong gave you, if I'm correct, gave you that assignment. Did Rong, Tom Mok, or other Khmer Rouge cadre discuss with you the importance of the trip and China's importance as the ally, the most important ally of the Khmer Rouge?
Only Taron, who spoke to me but he did not speak to me on the matters that you just raised.
I would like to read to you from a book that was just recently placed on the case file, and it's E342. And in that book, the author wrote, perhaps no single, it's called Brothers in Arms, Chinese Aid to the Khmer Rouge, 1975 to 79. And the author wrote that perhaps no single individual in China better symbolized the concept of self-reliance than the head of the famous Dazai model commune, Cheng Yonghui. And my pronunciation of Chinese is as bad as my Khmer, so that's how I would pronounce it. Chen's extended visit to Cambodia in December 1977 underscored the legitimacy of the CPK's own rhetoric of self-sufficient development. His trip was also meant to shore up evidence to strengthen his position at home, and was apparently perceived by the Khmer Rouge leadership as a last, best, and ultimately unsuccessful chance to help strengthen the waning leftist line in China that was threatened by the reemergence of Deng Xiaoping and the Reform Coalition.
The President. Please hold on, Mr. Co-Prosecutor. Counsel, you may proceed.
Merci.
Thank you. I would like the prosecutor to tell us whether E3 followed by the title of the book, whether that is the name of the author. And if not, let him tell us the name of the author and how he authorizes himself to use this document today, or in what capacity he wants to authorize himself to use this document today.
Thank you. Your Honor, the title, the author of the book is Andrew Mertha, M-E-R-T-H-A, and I don't authorize myself. This was a decision from the trial chamber, E342, admitting this book into putting it on the case file. It was just published in 2014. So that E342 is the decision of the bench of the trial chamber. So, sir, I was reading that Pol Pot himself hosted Chen and personally took him all over Cambodia, where the Chinese official met with a constellation of DK officials, including zone leaders like Khe Pok, Sao Pim, and Tamok, military commanders like Mayas Mut and Tuch Rin, and a number of local DK cadres. And then I skip a sentence. While there, the embodiment of Dazai visited the Leibo model commune, which boasted 9,000 families over 4,000 hectares. So, sir, were you aware that Pol Pot accompanied this important guest from China?
Witness, please hold on. Mr. Counsel, you may proceed.
Merci.
Thank you. Under the supervision of the chamber, I believe the reference E342 corresponds to a request made by the prosecution and not to a decision rendered by this chamber authorizing them to use this book. And if that is indeed the case, we object to the prosecution's use of that book.
My understanding is that the book, to clarify, I think my error,
May I just ask a question to the prosecution to clarify? Is it correct that this was filed today, the request? I mean, I know we have discussed the book, but
Yes.
the request was filed when?
the request was filed on the 3rd of March. And my understanding is that the document has been given the number E342.1.
The President, Judge Lowen, you may proceed. Could you please ask to the co-prosecutor for clarification?
Oui, merci, Monsieur.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Counsel for the prosecution, we have cross-checked and found that we are seized of a motion E342, which was filed on the 3rd of March. And on the 9th of March, we have the French version thereof. The Chamber is of the view that if you wish to use that application and the document it concerns, that is the book of Mr. Andrew Mehta, either you would have to make an oral application, which will be discussed by the parties today, and then we will rule on it, or you proceed to another subject in your examination.
Thank you, Judge LeBurn. Because I'm short of time, I'm going to move on to another document, and that is E3 1339. Mr. Witness, this is a report from the Phnom Penh Domestic Service. It indicates, and the ERNs, well, it's only a, I'll give the ERNs. In English, 001-683-350-51. In Khmer, it's 01-06-39-05-07. And in French, I'm sorry, I don't have the French. In the first sentence, it indicates, on the morning of 13 December, Comrade Cheng Yung-Hui and other Chinese comrades, accompanied by Comrades Pol Pot, Secretary of the KCP Central Committee, and Prime Minister Ieng Sary, Born Vet, and Chun Chuen, left Kampong Som town to visit the southwest region. Skipping to the last paragraph on that page, on the morning of 14 December, Comrade Cheng Yung-Hui and other Chinese comrades left Takeo town for Phnom Penh, accompanied by our Comrade Party Secretary and Comrades Ieng Sary, Vorn Vet, and Chun Chun. A large crowd lined the streets of Takeo, and then on the next page, on their way to Phnom Penh, the Chinese comrades stopped to participate in a mass meeting at the Lay Bo Cooperative. So, sir, did you see the upper echelon of the Khmer Rouge, Pol Pot, Ieng Sary, Born Vet, with the Chinese guest in his visit to Lay Bo in December 1977?
Answer. I saw only Chinese delegation, but I didn't see Pol Pot and Ieng Sary. I saw only those who accompanied them. Those who accompanied them was from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the people who lined the street to receive the delegation, I didn't see those people who lined on the street.
Sir, before the guests arrived, were ordinary workers given instructions, or were efforts made to make the commune appear particularly clean?
Answer. We were receiving Chinese delegation in a casual manner including cooking rice and soup at the cooperative kitchen for them. And we did not organize any big ceremony. It was a kind of ordinary management and cooking for them.
Let me go back to E3, 1593, page 191 and 192 of Kiernan's book. In English, the ERN is 0067590. States that around the end of 1977, a group of Europeans and Chinese came to visit the model cooperative in Tram Kop. Sarun's mobile unit was laboring nearby. He recalls that the night before, the workers were informed they would stop. Next day, at 10 a.m., to get a new set of clothes each, and then proceed to the communal mess hall. Quote, anyone who fought over the food would be withdrawn. It indicates, use the Khmer word do sen, which, according to the author, usually means executions, because the foreigners were coming to photograph. Sir, is that true?
The President, please hold on, Mr. Witness. Mr. Kong Sam-on, you may proceed. Thank you, Mr. President. I have no objection because the co-prosecutor indicated ERN in English, but he failed to mention ERN in Khmer. Please. Yes.
It's fair enough, and I don't have it, so we'll look it up, and I'll move on for a moment. Excuse me. The ERN in Khmer is 00637-488 to 490. And just going on a little bit, at 10 a.m., they all left the work site, washed their oxen and plows, and then bathed. Anyone who wasn't washed clean would be withdrawn. And it says that Sarun has two vivid memories of this visit. For the first time in years, he saw European faces, 3 bearded, 2 with long hair and the other bald. And also, one of us ate so much he fell over backwards and was taken to hospital and never came back. Do you recall before the Swedish journalists visited, that instructions, that new clothes were handed out?
Answer. There was nothing strange. They would wear the same dress, the same uniform. There was no arrangement for that reception.
Mr. Witness, in your view, was Lê Bô a typical commune in democratic Kampuchea?
Answer. I cannot make assessment on this, but Tamok sent me to stay and work there. I had to follow his instruction. It was not more than other places, as I can say. There was a model house, there was a dining hall, there was a school building in front, and the rice paddy on both to the east and to the west. That's all about this cooperative.
And sir, what about District 105, Tram Kop? In your experience, you said you were in District 108 and some other places. Was Tram Kop typical of Khmer Rouge policies around the country, as far as you could tell?
Answer. To my opinion, I think it was normal, but it received from the upper echelon as a model district. I take it to the word of the upper echelon, but to myself, I think it was a simple or ordinary cooperative district, rather.
Sir, you've discussed the positions that you held, or the fact that you say you held no position in Koan Dai in Sector 108, District 108, and in Tram Kak, District 105. Just so that we're absolutely clear, were you ever on a district committee anywhere in Cambodia during the DK regime?
Answer. No, I didn't. I was simply the assistant at Kah Andat district and also an assistant to the committee of Tram Kak committee, district committee.
District committee members, especially the head of the district committee, would have his own or her own messengers assigned. Is that correct?
Answer. The district committee assigned one messenger for them who would accompany him or her to different places, especially when they travel from one place to another. They would be accompanied by one messenger at a time.
Let me make sure, perhaps you didn't understand my question. So did the district committee chairman have messengers during the DK regime in the districts you were at? More. Did he have one messenger or one or more messengers?
Answer. There were not many. Most often there were one or two messengers who work as a bodyguard and who was called messenger.
And who did they report to? The district messengers. Who was their boss?
District messengers were with the district committee. They did not report to anyone. All they had to do was to accompany the district secretary when they move around. That's all.
Sir, did you have messengers assigned?
Answer. No, I didn't have.
Sir, I'd like you to look at your statement from the 28th of January, E319.1.15, and look at answer 30 that you gave at that time. Under the section Investigators' Comments, it indicates we showed a photograph identifying Wat Ang Sri Milai Pagoda, Wat Samplai Pagoda, to the witness. And then it says you said that you used to travel to that area once in a while during the Khmer Rouge regime. But if I visited the area again, people probably would not recognize me. And then, Mr. Witness, you said this. Listen carefully. You told the investigators, I went there to look after the workplace for my messengers, the district messengers, to see how they were living. So, sir, if you were never on a district committee, why did you have messengers, district messengers, that you called your messengers?
Answer. This is my mistake in response because Lok Ta Sieng and Ta Chan assigned me to look and to supervise their messengers in terms of food supplies to see if they were adequate. So at Sampali Pagoda, they were the messengers for Ta Sieng and Ta Chan. Those messengers were tasked with circulating letters from the commune to the district, and from the district, from Ta Chan and to Ta Sieng, to different communes. This is my mistake in giving this response. In fact, they were the messengers of Ta Sieng and Ta Chan.
Sir, was it a mistake because you revealed the fact that, in fact, you really did have messengers because you were the district committee chairman in Tramkat?
Answer. I had no messenger. I was living in my house to the south of the Leibo cooperative. I had no messenger at all.
Sir, during the DK regime, did you make enemies? Are there people who you believe are out to get you because of something you did to them?
No, I did not have any enemy during the decay period. Also in District 108, I did not have any enemy. I lived with the workers at the work sites, in the rice fields. I slept with them, sometimes in the same mosquito net with the youth working the work sites for digging canal in Pride Lapo. So I can't say that I had no enemy at the time. And when I went to Tramkot district, I also had no enemy there.
So there's no reason for anyone to lie about your positions in Koan Date and in Tramkot district. Is that right?
I did not have any position. And as I said, I was an assistant to the district committee dealing with the construction of building dams and canals and working in the rice fields.
Your Honor, this would be an appropriate time to break, if you wish. No? Shouldn't they break now? Okay.
President, you may continue for a little while.
Very well. Sir, do you know Im Cham?
Yes, I knew her during the regime.
Is there any reason for her to lie about you?
I can say her recollection is not that precise.
Okay, Mr. Witness, let's see. Im Cham spoke to DC Cam, document E305/13.23.330. And in English, the ERN is 00951845. It's page 21 and 22. And in Khmer, it's ERN 0092987-78. And the interviewer, Danny, asked her why she was transferred to Ko Andite. Was the committee in Ko Andite removed? She said there were frequent conflicts among the committee. When I arrived there, the chairman was transferred to Kiribong. Danny asked her who was in charge of Ko Andite at the time. She gave her answer. And then he said, was Sieng transferred to Kiribong? She said, yes. And she said, yes. Then there were three people. A male member, my deputy was Tam Mok's younger brother-in-law, and me. And Danny asked, who? She said, grandfather's son, Tam Mok's younger brother-in-law. Later in that interview, at 2 pages further on, she said, I was at the rear line focusing on rice cultivating, while Uncle San, my deputy, was in charge of Bong district near the Vietnamese territory. Sir, you were Im Cham's deputy in Ko Andite. Isn't that true?
No, I was not Ye Cham's deputy.
And she's correct that you were in Bong near the Vietnamese border. Isn't that correct? Isn't that true?
I went to work at Praj Lapel at Thong Lich in Bang district, which was located near the Cambodian-Vietnamese border.
So she's correct about that. Now, is that right? You were in Bong. I'll go on with another question. Sir, my colleague earlier this morning read to you the statement of another witness to come, TCW 809, who was a secretary in District 105 before you, and said that you were the secretary of District 108 in Ko Andite. That's E34628, my colleague read this morning. But I want to go on now to Lê Bo and talk about what people have said about your time in Tram Kak district. In D23286, D232/86, English 00424729, Khmer 00418434-35, French 00436922. A man who said he was a brick maker in Lê Bo said, later on I was sent to work at the district workshop near District Committee Ta San in Lê Bo commune. I made bricks which were taken by the Khmer Rouge to build model dining halls in the cooperative. And sir, let me read a few more before I ask for your comments so you can respond to all of these. Witness TCW 815 document E3/4627, English 0022 3473-4, Khmer 00163490-91, and French 00651256-57. He was asked where he was when Phnom Penh fell. He said, "I was here both before it fell and after it fell. They called it District 105, Sector 13, Southwest Zone. My position was youth chairman." And then skipping down a few lines, he said, Takyev was the district secretary, and female comrade Kom, the daughter of Tamok. Later, Kom became the wife of Tamut. He was asked, after Kiev and Kom, who held the position? He answered, after 75, Kom followed her husband to Kampong Som, and Ta Chim rose to replace her for a short time. Later, Ta Kit rose to replace him. He was asked, in the district? And he answered, right here at Tram Kap. And later, Ta San, the younger brother-in-law of Tamuk, came to govern all the way until it fell. Question, do you know at what year Ta San came? Answer, approximately 1977, but I'm not clear. Mr. Witness, do you know Ye Bon? Bun?
Yes, I know Ye Bun.
She was in Tramcock at the same time you were, correct?
She lived in Tramcock district while I was there.
Document E319/12.3.2. At answer 28, she said, the last Tramcock District Committee was Tasan. For me, I also worked at Tramcock District Committee with Tasan in October 1978 when I was in charge of the women's side. Tasan had been Tramcock District Committee long before me. And then TCW 948 in document E319.1.17 at answer 10. This is a witness who was the chief of the Srei Ranong commune in 1978. And in answer number 10 and answer 31, he identified you as the district secretary and said that he reported every month to you about political works, economy, and security. Do you want me to read more, Mr. Witness? Will you please tell us, admit you were the district secretary of Tramcock in 1977 and 1978? Can you save me time of reading more? Can you admit that, sir?
No, I was not the district secretary, as I repeatedly told you that. I dealt mainly with at the work site. One dam was built from Ploi Lok to the Pian Dak, which was more than 10 kilometers long, and another one came from Rik or Slaku, where the water gate was installed, and then it went crossing Liebo further down, and the length was more than 30 kilometers.
Instruct the witness to answer the question only. He's giving a speech unrelated.
President, thank you. And Mr. Witness, please respond briefly through the question put to you and don't make any unnecessary comments or make your response which is not related to the question posed to you. Otherwise, it just leads to many more questions for you. And it is now convenient for a short break. We will take a break now and return at 3 o'clock to resume our proceedings. And court officer, please assist the witness during this short break and have him return with his duty counsel at 3 o'clock this afternoon. The court is now in recess.
សូមអញ្ជើញក្រោកឈរ